And hello, Kathy Fray here. Second trimester, and you're spotting, or you're actually bleeding, or maybe there's some watery discharge. Is it time to panic? Hi, Kathy Fray here, and I'm a semi-retired senior midwife and a best-selling maternity author. So, this is it. There's one thing when it's first trimester and you've got a bit of spotting going on. It's never regarded as normal, but it's also not uncommon. However, when you're in that second trimester, it is uncommon, and can be potentially quite concerning. All right, so if you are, and what to do about it. So if you're having a little bit of spotting, then just immediately be resting, okay? Or if you're having a little bit of abdominal pain, immediately be resting, and contact your midwife or your obstetrician and get them in the loop. And you do want to be assessed. It's not necessarily super urgent, but I would, with hopefully the same day or maybe the next morning, somebody listening to that baby with a Doppler or running an ultrasound over a top. But so if that we're talking about some mild spotting or some mild cramping. Now, if you have some actual real vaginal hemorrhaging, you're like filling a pad in half an hour. That's not okay. Or if you've got some really strong pain that's coming and going and coming and going and coming and going, that's not okay. Or if you've got watery discharge and you're thinking, I know that's not urine. It doesn't smell like urine. It doesn't look like urine. I'm pretty sure it hasn't come from my bladder. Is that waters? Any of those situations of real bleeding, real pain, or real water coming out, you need to be assessed in person ASAP. Now, if you are under 20 weeks, that is regarded as a threatened miscarriage. If you are over 20 weeks, that's regarded as a threatened preterm labour. But really, everything underneath, everything before sort of 24, 25, 26 weeks, you potentially may not have a viable baby on board. That means that if that baby needed to be born, or ended up not needing to, but your body decided to birth that baby prematurely, it below that sort of 24, 25, 26 weeks, it may not survive. So, and certainly anything under 30 weeks, and those babies that do survive quite often will go on to have some pretty long-term effects on the fact that they were so premature. So they are red flags if you've got that going on, and you absolutely need to be assessed. Now, once you are assessed, if everything's settled down, and it's kind of like there's no real point in keeping you in the hospital, and you are going to get discharged home, hopefully your caregiver, your midwife or obstetrician, is telling you that you need to be on bed rest for a good couple of weeks, as far as okay, not a couple of days, couple of weeks. And also at that point, if you are still working full-time, and I don't care if your work is sitting down all day, but if you are still working full-time, you need to really put a big question mark on that. What's happening is that your body is telling you it's not really coping with the stress of your accumulative life. So when we add in everything that you're doing in your day, of which could be going to work, maybe going to the gym, maybe having a social life on the weekend, maybe working late a couple of nights a week, whatever it is you're doing, it's too much. And you need to dial it back, okay? I can't plead with you enough on that. Please dial it back. Preferably stop work. And I know that's a hard thing to sometimes even consider, because heck, you probably told work that you were leaving at 35 weeks and you're only 23 weeks. You know, that's 3 months early. Well, here's the thing, here's the kicker, right? Or two kickers. Firstly, every single prematurely born baby I have ever had in all of my career practice has been a woman working full-time. And usually there were some pre-warnings to that. You know, some things were, she kind of went through some sort of little bed rest period there leading up to the fact that she did go into labour. That's the first kicker. The second kicker is, if your baby was born tomorrow, I hate to be all serious, but it's like this is a serious situation. If your baby was born tomorrow, are you going to work tomorrow? Or the next week? Or in 3 weeks' time? Not a chance. Because your baby's going to be in NICU or SCABU. Well, if it's under 30 weeks or so, it's going to be in NICU. It's a very, very premature baby. And you'll be going in there every day. For weeks or months. You won't be going to work. So, I just want you to... And here's actually, I'll give you a third kicker, which I'm sorry, but it's just true. It's what I've seen. Is those women who got those little, you know, little warnings at the beginning. There was, you know, a little bit going on. They had a bit of rest, but then they carried on with their work. And then their baby was born prematurely. They never forgive themselves. Never. Not for the rest of their lives. That mother guilt will stay with you forever and ever and ever. You know, and when your child is 8 years old and the teacher's turning around saying, you know, I think your child is dyslexic, what are you going to think? You're going to go, that was me. I did that. My baby was born prematurely. I pushed on at work and I shouldn't have. Or I pushed on at the gym. Or I pushed on at the social life. Or I pushed on at going to the, you know, doing all these other millions of things that I'm fitting into my day, assuming that I'm superwoman and I can fit it all in and everything will be fine. Because lots of other women have managed to do that on their pregnancies and they've been fine. Yeah. It's just horrible. That mother guilt never ever leaves you. So look, I want you to take it as a serious threat and a serious warning. You've got a warning. So now make those alterations, dial everything back, at least go part-time at work, or preferably stop work, because the baby comes first. We know, but now you want to. You really want to make that the priority. So anyway, that's enough. I don't want to ruin your day and make you feel horrible. I just want you to know I've seen it and I don't want it happening to you, you know. I don't want that to be your story. So I'm going to love you and leave you and wish you a wonderful rest of your day. Okay, bye everybody.